We have breaking news at this hour that could spell the end of Pete Hegseth's tenure as Secretary of Defense under Donald Trump. A new watchdog report that will be released tomorrow has found that Pete Hegseth, in his role as Secretary of Defense or Secretary of War, whatever you want to call it, I call it defense, he calls it war, endangered the lives of American military service members during Signalgate by leaking accidentally critical information to an ongoing operation that was happening in the Middle East. This report has been coupled with the reports of possible war crimes under Hegseth's tenure. And well, based on what I'm hearing right now, this could be the beginning of the end for Hegseth at the United States Pentagon. Now, we're going to see what happens next, but ultimately, right now, this is a bombshell news. So make sure to like, comment, share, and subscribe. If you want to support my work, subscribe to my Substack by clicking the link below. First reported by CNN. Secretary of Defense Pete Hegseth risks compromising sensitive military information, which could have endangered American troops and mission objectives when he used Signal in March of this year to share highly sensitive attack plans targeting Houthi rebels in Yemen, according to sources familiar with the contents of a classified Inspector General report. I can confirm, based on sources that I've spoken to, that this report is bad and it will implicate Hegseth in possibly putting service members at risk. And I'm actually going on Capitol Hill right now to get more information for you all. The repercussions, according to CNN, are less clear, though, because the Inspector General concluded that the Defense Secretary has the authority to declassify information, and Hegseth asserted that he made an operational decision in the moment to share that information, though there is no documentation of such a decision. In addition, an unclassified version of the report will be publicly released tomorrow. The classified report has already been sent to Congress and is being currently reviewed by members of Congress on the Armed Services Committee and the Intelligence Committees. Messages sent from Hegseth's Signal account to the group chat, the contents of which previously confirmed to CNN, included material from documents marked classified at the time they were sent. Offered specific real-time updates about planned military strikes. They were so specific that one even read, quote, "This is when the first bombs will drop." It remains unclear if Hegseth properly declassified the information before sharing it with other top Trump officials, along with Jeffrey Goldberg, a reporter from The Atlantic. Notably, Pete Hegseth refused to sit for the interview with an inspector general who submitted his versions of events in writing instead of sitting for the interview. The findings are memorialized in a broader report produced after a months-long investigation into the use of Signal by Pete Hegseth. The report states that Hegseth should not have used Signal and that senior Department of Defense officials need better training on protocols under this Secretary of Defense. And folks, this is a major development because Pete Hegseth could face another investigation will face on Capitol Hill now that we have confirmation that he has put American service members' lives at risk by putting out this Signal chat, by putting out classified informations in a Signal chat without authorization. He should not have done this. The Inspector General of the Department of Defense has confirmed that. And this is significant even for the fact that the Inspector General in this Department of Defense is Donald Trump's Inspector General. This is not a Biden Inspector General. This is someone Donald Trump has kept on, and he has confirmed that Donald Trump's Secretary of Defense endangered American lives. And it comes as there is chaos within the Republican caucus on Capitol Hill. Right now, Congresswoman Elise Stefanik is sharing her most critical remarks of Speaker Johnson yet, arguing that he is an ineffective leader who is losing control over the Republican conference headed into the midterm elections. Stefanik says, quote, "He certainly wouldn't have the votes to be speaker if there was a roll call vote tomorrow. I believe the majority of Republicans would vote for new leadership. It's that widespread." Johnson is swearing in Matt Van Epps, the Republican who won in Tennessee last night this week. Remember, he waited 50 days to swear in Congresswoman Adelita Grijalva. So he waited all that time to swear in Grijalva, but he will not wait 50 days to swear in Van Epps. Van Epps will be sworn in this week. But folks, the real story is Hegseth. And I think this is time for Hegseth's tenure to possibly come to an end. And it comes as the White House is facing major scrutiny over a pardon of a convicted drug trafficker, the former president of Honduras. When Republicans are pressed on the issue, they kind of run from it.
More so, you just rightly outlined the dangers posed by drugs. So what explanation do you have for President Trump offering a pardon to the former president of Honduras, who prosecutors said ran a massive drug cartel, including sending tons and tons of it to the United States?
Yeah, I don't know the details of that particular pardon. Happy to look into it, but I just can't really speak to it.
All right, Republican.
Okay. All right. So, like, no thought on the fact that he was pardoned?
Well, again, I think it's unfair to, without me researching the details of that pardon, to give you any type of an answer. I'm a doctor. If you ask me a question, I don't have a good answer or a factual answer, I'm going to say I don't know. I'm happy to go research it. I'm really locked in on healthcare right now, trying to bring down the cost of healthcare for Americans and make our lives more affordable.
Republican Senator Roger Marshall of Kansas, thank you very much, Doctor, for coming in this morning. We appreciate your insights. All right.
Pretty crazy to kind of see these Republicans squirm right now over what should be a basic answer. Like, hey, maybe Donald Trump shouldn't have pardoned someone who was convicted of trafficking 400 tons of cocaine from Latin America into the United States of America. Just a thought. Maybe that shouldn't have happened. Right? Maybe we shouldn't have be pardoning these individuals and at the same time claiming that we have this major drug issue abroad that we need to conduct these illegal strikes in the Southern Caribbean, because that is what they are. They're illegal. And now Pete Hegseth is going to face major trouble on Capitol Hill over it. Based on what I'm understanding, there is more and more pressure for Hegseth to step down, to resign. And it wouldn't surprise me if, as part of the Trump cabinet reshuffling that we're expected to see at the beginning of part of next year, that Hegseth is one of the casualties that we see. Why? Because Hegseth has caused a lot of headache for this administration. The last thing this administration wants to be talking about is their Secretary of Defense sharing classified information via Signal, or a possible war crime ordered by the Secretary of Defense or an admiral right under him. They don't want that. And yet that's what they have right now. And so in any event, major updates right now coming from Capitol Hill. We're going to see what happens next. Obviously, I will provide you updates. So like, comment, share, and subscribe to support my work. Also consider subscribing to my Substack by clicking the link below. We're going to have much more. I'll have an interview with Senator Jack Reed, who's the senior Democrat on the Armed Services Committee investigating Hegseth this evening, and then some more folks tomorrow, so stay tuned. Hey folks, Aaron Parnas here. Thank you so much for watching The Parnas Perspective. Please consider subscribing to support our work as we grow this independent news media entity into something that rivals mainstream every single day. Thanks so much, and I'll see you soon.